Commander Kim sat quietly at the back of the Grand Council chamber, watching alien representatives argue across the curved table. 20 years had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Council, yet humans were still treated like newcomers. The tall, blue-skinned Arcturians dominated discussions as usual, their four arms gesturing dramatically. The insect-like Frel clicked their mandibles in agreement, while the reptilian Zinfar nodded their scaled heads. Kim wore a simple Earth uniform with minimal decorations. This was intentional. Everything about Earth's presence here was carefully planned. "The human delegation has nothing to add?" asked High Counselor Tula, her translucent tentacles waving dismissively toward Kim. "Earth supports peaceful resolution," Kim replied softly, bowing slightly. Several council members exchanged knowing looks. Humans always said little during military discussions. After the meeting, Kim walked through the station's wide corridors. Aliens of dozens of species moved past, some floating, others crawling or sliding. Kim's communication device buzzed. It was a secure message from Earth Command. "Status report accepted. Continue observation protocol," it read. Kim smiled slightly. The Council believed Earth possessed only a small defense fleet and 12 orbital platforms. They classified humans as Category 3, capable of defending their own planet, but little else. Perfect. That evening, Kim attended a diplomatic reception. The Arcturian ambassador approached, towering over the human. "Commander, I've always wondered, doesn't it concern your people to have such limited defenses? The galaxy can be dangerous." Kim sipped a drink slowly. "We focus on what we can control. Earth is still developing its technologies." The Arcturian laughed. "Admirable attitude. Perhaps in another century, you'll reach Category 2 status." Later, alone in private quarters, Kim activated a hidden communication system. The holographic display appeared showing Admiral Park, Earth's true military commander. "How's our reputation holding, Commander?" Park asked. "As planned, Admiral. They see us as harmless. The Zinfar representative actually patted me on the head today." Park nodded. "Excellent. The lunar shipyards just completed 2 more dreadnoughts. They're already cloaked and positioned near Jupiter. The Mars facilities have doubled production of quantum missiles." "Any word on the Krell movements?" Kim asked. "Our deep space sensors detect increased activity near their border. Intelligence suggests they may be planning something big. Keep your eyes open." Kim looked out the viewport at the distant stars. 20 years of pretending to be weak. "Sometimes I wonder if we're being too cautious." Park's face grew serious. "Earth nearly destroyed itself 3 times before we reached the stars. History taught us that powerful newcomers often become targets. Better to be underestimated than eliminated." On the holographic display behind Park, Kim could see the true scale of Earth's military might. Massive shipyards hidden throughout the solar system. Thousands of vessels with technology far beyond what Earth publicly acknowledged possessing. "The last weapons test was successful," Park continued. "The gravitational shear projectors can now disable a capital ship without destroying it. The shield generators can withstand firepower 10 times stronger than anything the Council races possess." Kim nodded. "And they have no idea." "That's your job, Commander. Keep playing the humble representative. Let them think we're just happy to have a seat at the table." After ending the transmission, Kim returned to the viewport. Somewhere out there, the Krell were moving, planning. They had been raiding border worlds for centuries. Council races considered them a manageable threat, not worth full military action. But Earth's hidden sensors had detected patterns the others missed. The Krell were gathering forces, preparing for something unprecedented. Kim watched alien ships dock at the station. Elegant Arcturian vessels, organic Vrel hives, armored Zinfar destroyers, all impressive by Council standards, none compared to what Earth had secretly built. A memory surfaced in Kim's mind, the day humanity decided on this strategy. After first contact, Earth's nations had finally united, recognizing that in the vastness of space, old rivalries meant nothing. They had studied history, how technologically advanced civilizations often viewed rising powers as threats. Earth would advance, but quietly. They would build in secret, hide their true capabilities, and watch. For 20 years, they had maintained this deception. No council race suspected that the modest human vessels and space stations were merely decoys, while beneath the lunar surface and hidden throughout the asteroid belt, Earth had constructed the most powerful fleet in known space. Tomorrow there would be another council meeting. Kim would once again sit quietly, offering little, agreeing easily, maintaining the image of a still-developing world finding its place. A message alert chimed softly. New intelligence. The Krell had begun moving a massive fleet toward Council space, toward Earth. Kim's expression remained calm, but inside, a sense of grim satisfaction grew. Perhaps soon the galaxy would learn the truth about humanity's preparedness. The question was no longer if, but when Earth would reveal its true power. The charade couldn't last forever, and when it ended, the galaxy would never see humans the same way again. The emergency alarms echoed through the Galactic Council station as representatives rushed to the main chamber. Red lights flashed along the corridors. Commander Kim walked calmly against the flow of panicked aliens, maintaining an unhurried pace while others ran. Inside the chamber, holographic displays showed burning worlds and fleeing ships. The Krell attack had caught everyone by surprise. 3 council systems were under assault simultaneously, something the Krell had never attempted before. High Counselor Tula stood at the center of the room, her translucent body pulsing with stress colors. The normal blue of her skin had turned a worried purple. "The Arcturian home fleet is destroyed," she announced, her voice translator unable to hide her fear. "Proxima Centauri has fallen. Millions of refugees are fleeing in whatever ships could escape." The chamber filled with shocked voices. The Arcturians were among the most powerful military forces in the Council, if they had fallen so quickly. "The second Krell fleet has changed course," continued Tula, manipulating the holographic display. "They are now heading directly toward the Sol system." She turned toward Commander Kim. "Earth is in their path." The room went silent as all eyes turned to the human representative. For years, they had viewed Earth as a minor power, barely worth noticing in military matters. Now they looked at Kim with pity. An Arcturian representative spoke first. "We must organize emergency evacuation ships for Earth immediately. How many humans can we save before the Krell arrive?" Others joined in, calculating refugee numbers, arguing over which planets could take in humans, debating how much of Earth's culture could be preserved. Kim stood quietly, waiting for the noise to subside. Finally, he raised a hand. The simple gesture somehow commanded attention. "The United Earth Defense Force appreciates your concern," Kim said in a calm, even voice that contrasted sharply with the panic around him. "But we will handle the Krell incursion ourselves." The chamber went completely silent for 3 seconds before erupting in disbelieving voices. "Impossible. They've lost their minds. The shock has affected their reasoning." Grand Admiral Mox of the Zinthar, a massive reptilian with ceremonial battle scars covering his scales, laughed loudly. His translator didn't soften the mockery in his voice. "Commander, perhaps you don't understand the situation," Mox said, leaning forward on his massive claws. "Your world has 12 orbital platforms and fewer than 50 combat-capable vessels. We've all seen your defense reports. The Krell Armada approaching your system numbers in the thousands." Kim simply nodded. "We are aware of the numbers, Admiral." A slight smile appeared on his face. "Earth will stand." The chamber erupted again. Some representatives argued for forcing Earth to evacuate. Others suggested the humans might have secret weapons. Most simply expressed sadness at what they saw as Earth's inevitable destruction. Commander Kim activated his secure communicator while the debate swirled around him. "They've taken the bait," he said quietly. "The Krell are heading directly to us, just as predicted." Admiral Park's voice came through clearly in Kim's earpiece. "All systems are ready. The lunar defense grid is powering up. The Jupiter fleet is moving into position. How long until the Krell arrive? Approximately 17 hours, replied Kim, checking the tactical display. The Council expects us to fall within minutes. And the Council fleets? They're consolidating to protect the core worlds. Exactly as we hoped. Admiral Park's voice contained a note of satisfaction. 20 years of preparation, Commander. It ends today. Kim ended the transmission and looked up to find High Counselor Tula standing before him. Commander, she said gently, I understand pride, but please reconsider. We can save millions of your people if evacuation begins immediately. Kim smiled at her. For the first time, he allowed a glimpse of Earth's true confidence to show through his carefully maintained facade of humility. Thank you, Counselor, but I must insist that Council resources focus on the Arcturian refugees. They need immediate help. Earth will not fall today. Tula's skin rippled with confusion colors. How can you be so certain? What do you know that we don't? Kim looked around the chamber at the aliens who had underestimated humanity for 2 decades. Earth has always understood that the galaxy is dangerous, Counselor. We prepared accordingly. As Kim left the chamber, he heard the whispers behind him. Some called humans foolishly brave. Others said they were simply fools. A few wondered if Earth might have secrets after all. None guessed the truth, that Earth had built the most powerful defense force in known space right under their noses. None imagined that humanity had anticipated this day from the moment they joined the galactic community. Back in his quarters, Kim opened a secure channel to Earth Command. On screens around him, he watched as hidden human fleets activated throughout the solar system. Massive warships emerged from concealed bases in the asteroid belt. Defense platforms unshrouded themselves around Earth's moon. Begin Operation Revelation, Kim ordered. It's time to show the galaxy who we really are. In 17 hours, the Krell would learn that they had not found an easy target. They had walked into a trap 20 years in the making. The Krell warships entered the Sol system in perfect attack formation. Their black, spiny vessels numbered over 2,000, ranging from small fighters to massive carriers. At the center of their fleet, the Krell Dominion ship stretched nearly 5 kilometers from end to end, its surface bristling with weapons. Their scanners showed exactly what they expected. A handful of small defensive platforms around Earth, all now empty of personnel. The dozen or so military vessels humans were known to possess had apparently fled. Their path to Earth lay completely open. Krell Commander Drac felt something close to disappointment. He had hoped for at least token resistance. His translator converted his clicking speech as he addressed his bridge crew. Begin the approach to the human homeworld. Prepare planetary bombardment sequences. Let us finish this quickly. On the viewing screens, Earth appeared as a blue-green jewel against the blackness of space. Beautiful, vulnerable, and soon to be conquered. Then something strange happened. The space around the Krell fleet began to shimmer, as if reality itself was bending. Alarms blared across the command deck. What is happening? Demanded Drac. Unknown, Commander. Spatial distortions appearing throughout the system. Before their eyes, space rippled like water. Where there had been emptiness moments before, massive structures now appeared. Battle stations larger than anything the Council races had ever built materialized in perfect defensive positions. From Earth's moon, enormous doors opened on the surface, revealing hangars that had been hidden beneath the gray dust for decades. From these hangars emerged warships unlike anything the Krell had encountered. Sleek, angular vessels with no visible engines glided into formation. The largest of them, bearing the name Thermopylae in human script, positioned itself directly in the path of the Krell advance. Impossible. Drac slammed his clawed hand against his command console. Our intelligence confirmed the humans possessed no significant defenses. On the main view screen, a human face appeared. Admiral Park sat calmly in a command chair, her uniform bearing insignia the Krell had never seen on any human before. "This is Admiral Park of Earth," she said, her voice translated into the Krell language. Your incursion into Council space ends here. You will power down your weapon systems and prepare to be boarded, or you will be destroyed. Drax's mandibles clicked in rage. Open fire. All weapons. Destroy them. The Krell fleet fired as one. Thousands of energy beams and projectiles streaking toward the human vessels. What should have been utter destruction instead became a shocking demonstration. Shimmering barriers of light appeared around the Earth ships, absorbing the Krell attack without visible strain. Not a single human vessel was damaged. Weapons ineffective, cried the Krell tactical officer. Their shields. Nothing is getting through. Admiral Park's face remained on the screen, watching calmly. She nodded to someone off-camera. Very well. You've made your choice. What followed was not a battle. It was a demonstration of power. The human vessels activated weapon systems never before seen in the galaxy. From the Thermopylae, waves of focused gravity distorted space itself, tearing apart Krell ships as if they were made of paper. Smaller Earth vessels fired beams that somehow disabled the drive systems of Krell warships, leaving them drifting helplessly. On the command deck of his ship, Drax watched in horror as his mighty fleet was systematically dismantled. Ships that had terrorized the galaxy for centuries were being destroyed without apparent effort. Retreat. All ships retreat. He ordered, but it was too late. His engines failed to respond. His weapons went dark. Something had taken control of his ship's systems. Throughout the Sol system, the same scene played out hundreds of times. Krell vessels either torn apart by Earth's gravity weapons or left powerless, drifting in space. In the council chamber light years away, representatives watched in stunned silence as live feeds showed the battle. What they had believed would be Earth's last stand had become a one-sided demonstration of overwhelming force. How? Whispered Counselor Tula. How could they hide this from us? Commander Kim stood beside her, watching the feeds with a small smile. We never hid anything, Counselor. You simply never asked the right questions. Back in the Sol system, Admiral Park stood on the bridge of the Thermopylae, surveying the remnants of the once mighty Krell fleet. 2,000 enemy vessels had entered the system. Now, less than 50 minutes later, not a single one remained operational. She opened a channel to the Krell flagship, where Commander Drax sat in his darkened command center, emergency lights casting red shadows across his alien features. Commander Drax, Park said, your fleet is defeated. Your warriors have fought bravely, but they were never going to win this battle. Not against us. What are you? Drax asked, his translator struggling to convey his shock. No species could develop such technology in secret. Admiral Park smiled. We've been preparing for this day since we first looked up at the stars, Commander. Humanity has always understood that the universe is dangerous. We simply made sure we were more dangerous than anything we might encounter. As the Earth forces began boarding the disabled Krell vessels, taking prisoners for the first time in Krell history, Admiral Park sent a message to Commander Kim at the Council Station. The unveiling is complete, she said. It's time for humanity to take its true place in the galaxy. The Council chamber looked different today. Usually arranged in neat rows of seats, the room had been rearranged into a circle, with Earth's position now at the center. Representatives from all 27 member species filled the room, many standing because there weren't enough seats. No one spoke above a whisper. The usual diplomatic chatter had been replaced by nervous tension. Commander Kim walked into the chamber wearing a uniform no council member had ever seen before. Gone was the simple attire of Earth's humble representative. Instead, Kim wore a black and silver uniform, covered with medals and rank insignia, that marked him as one of humanity's highest military leaders. Fleet Marshal Kim announced the chamber's automated system, causing another wave of whispers to spread through the crowd. High Counselor Tula stood to formally open the emergency session. Her translucent body still showed stress colors from the events of the past day. The Council recognizes Fleet Marshal Kim of Earth, she said, her voice unsteady. We have many questions. Kim nodded and took his place at the center of the chamber. Above him, holographic displays showed images from the battle with the Krell. Massive Earth warships emerging from hiding, weapons of unimaginable power disabling enemy vessels, the remains of the once feared Krell armada now under human control. "Thank you, Counselor," Kim said calmly. "I understand this comes as a shock to many of you. For 20 years, humanity has hidden its true capabilities from the galactic community." The Grand Admiral of the Zinfar, who had laughed at Earth just days before, leaned forward. "Why? Why the deception?" Kim activated a holographic display that showed scenes from Earth's history. Primitive humans fighting with spears, then swords, then guns, then nuclear weapons. "Our history taught us caution," Kim explained. "Humans fought each other for thousands of years before we united. When we first developed faster-than-light travel, we also discovered something important. Advanced civilizations often fear potential rivals and act to eliminate them before they become threats. The images shifted to show early human encounters with alien civilizations, including some council races. We observed how newly discovered species were treated," Kim continued. "Those seen as potential competitors were contained, restricted, sometimes even attacked as a preventive measure. We decided a different approach was necessary." High Counselor Tula's voice was barely a whisper. "Your orbital shipyards are merely assembly points," Kim finished her thought. "Our primary manufacturing facilities extend throughout the asteroid belt and beneath the surfaces of Mars and several moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Earth maintains a standing fleet of over 12,000 vessels and has military installations throughout our system, all hidden by quantum camouflage technology." The council chamber fell silent as historical footage played, showing Earth's brutal world wars, their rapid technological advancement, and finally, their unified planetary defense strategy, all previously hidden from council awareness. The Arcturian representative, whose homeworld had been devastated by the Krell, spoke next. "You could have saved countless lives if you had shared this technology with us. Millions of my people died while your weapons remained hidden." Kim nodded sadly. "We understand your anger. But consider what would have happened if we had revealed our true power 20 years ago. Would you have welcomed us, or would you have seen us as a threat to be contained? Would you have tried to take our technology by force?" No one answered. The truth hung in the air. Many council races would indeed have responded with fear and possibly aggression to a newcomer species with superior military technology. "The Krell gave us no choice but to reveal ourselves," Kim said. "But humanity never sought galactic dominance. We sought only to ensure we would never again face extinction. The Krell threat has been neutralized. Earth stands ready to help rebuild what they destroyed." An awkward silence filled the chamber. Finally, a Vrel representative spoke, mandibles clicking. "How do we know you won't simply replace the Krell as the new threat to the galaxy? You have deceived us for 20 years. Why should we trust you now?" Kim smiled for the first time during the session. "A fair question. I could tell you that if we wanted to conquer, we could have done so already. I could point out that we just saved many of your worlds from the Krell. But instead, let me show you something else we've been developing." The holographic display changed to show medical technology, agricultural systems, and environmental restoration projects. "While we built our defenses, we also created solutions to problems facing many worlds," Kim explained. "Cures for diseases that plague the Vrel hive worlds. Terraforming technology that could restore the damaged atmospheres of outer Zinfar colonies. Food production systems that could end famine in the Arcturian refugee camps." Expressions around the room changed from fear to cautious interest. "Humanity prepared for war because our history taught us we must," Kim said. "But we always hoped for peace. Now we offer the Council a choice. Continue to see us as a threat, or accept us as true partners in building a safer galaxy for all species." High Counselor Tula's skin had begun to shift toward calmer colors. "This council session will continue tomorrow. We have much to discuss." As representatives filed out, Many approached Kim with questions or comments. Some were angry, others curious, a few even grateful. All looked at humans differently now. The small, harmless newcomers were suddenly the most powerful force in known space. Kim's communicator signaled a private message from Admiral Park. Phase 1 complete. The galaxy now knows our strength. Phase 2 begins tomorrow, showing them our wisdom. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council headquarters shone with light from 1,000 stars visible through its transparent dome. Representatives from all 27 member species gathered for a historic occasion. 6 months had passed since the day that became known throughout the galaxy as the Sol Revelation, when humanity unveiled its true power. Fleet Marshal Kim stood near the central platform, watching as dignitaries filed in. How different things were now. Humans no longer sat in the back rows. Earth had been officially reclassified as a Tier 1 military power, one of only 3 in known space. "Quite a change from our first council meeting, isn't it?" said a voice beside him. Admiral Park had arrived, wearing her formal dress uniform with simple elegance. Kim nodded. 20 years of hiding, and now 6 months of truth. I still can't decide which was harder. The truth had not been easy for many council races to accept. Some had called for sanctions against Earth for its deception. Others had demanded access to human military technology. A few had even suggested Earth might be a greater threat than the Krell had ever been. But today marked a new beginning. The Mutual Defense Accord would be signed. Admiral Park's vision for a safer galaxy. High Counselor Tula called the session to order. Her translucent body glowed with formal colors of ceremony. "Today we forge a new path," she announced. "For too long, the Council has allowed individual worlds to face threats alone. The Krell invasion showed us the cost of such thinking." On display screens around the chamber, images appeared of worlds rebuilding after the Krell attacks. The devastation had been severe, but recovery was happening faster than anyone had expected, largely thanks to human assistance. After defeating the Krell, Earth had immediately offered aid. Human medical teams treated the wounded. Earth's advanced construction systems helped rebuild destroyed cities. Food shipments prevented famine on the hardest-hit worlds. "These actions spoke louder than any promises could," continued Tula. "Earth possessed the power to conquer, yet chose to help." Admiral Park rose and walked to the central platform. All eyes followed her movement. "The Mutual Defense Accord creates what this galaxy has never had before," Park explained. "A rapid response force comprised of ships from all Council species, commanded jointly, and deployed to protect any world under threat." She activated a holographic display showing the new fleet structure. Council vessels alongside human ships, sharing technology, training together. "Earth will contribute our gravitational shield technology to all participating worlds," Park announced, causing surprised murmurs throughout the chamber. This was one of humanity's most advanced defensive systems. "But more importantly, we will contribute our commitment to defending all peaceful worlds, not just our own." The Zinfar Grand Admiral, once Earth's most vocal critic, stood to speak. "Why now? Why share this power after hiding it for so long?" Admiral Park smiled. "We hid our strength because we feared how you would react to it. Our history taught us that powerful newcomers are rarely welcomed. But true security doesn't come from concealing power. It comes from using power responsibly, together." The signing ceremony proceeded, with representatives from all council races adding their marks to the accord. As the final signature was placed, a signal was sent to orbit. Outside, above the council world, space rippled. The massive Earth dreadnought Prometheus dropped its quantum camouflage, revealing itself in orbit. The enormous vessel had been there all along, unseen, protecting the council even as they debated Earth's trustworthiness. But unlike 6 months ago, when Earth's fleet first revealed itself, this unveiling inspired no fear, only appreciation for the shield that had been protecting them all along. Later, at the celebration that followed, Kim found a quiet moment with Admiral Park on a balcony overlooking the council capital city. "Our ancestors would never believe this," Kim said, watching ships from dozens of worlds flying peacefully through the evening sky. They built our military thinking it would save humanity from alien threats. Instead, it built peace. Park nodded. The irony isn't lost on me. Earth prepared for war for centuries, developing technologies meant to ensure human survival at any cost. Instead, those same technologies ultimately forged a more lasting peace than diplomacy alone ever could. A group of young officers approached, some human, others from various council races. They were part of the new joint training program, learning to work together in the Unified Defense Force. Admiral Park called one of the alien officers. "Will you tell us about the Battle of Saul? We've heard so many different versions." Park smiled. "Perhaps another time. Today is about looking forward, not back." As night fell on the council world, lights appeared in the city below. The galaxy would never again underestimate humanity. But more importantly, humanity would never again feel the need to hide. Earth had found its true place among the stars, not conquering, not hiding, but leading toward a future where strength served peace instead of threatening it.